Well, did you murder her?
No.
Did you pull the trigger?
No.
Did you kill her?
No.
Things are just not looking good, and they're adding up to that you had something to do with this, Brett. We need to know why.
Oh, no, there's no why. Okay. I didn't do this. I love Vashti.
She told a friend a week and a half prior to this incident happening that you threatened to kill her.
What?
You threatened to burn the house down, and you threatened to make it look like she did it.
That is bull.
How about that? Again, this is an interrogation. That's part of a 7-hour interrogation. Back with us, Steve Kardian, our HLN, he's a law enforcement analyst, former police detective. All right, what do you make of this? And there's so many different places to go. Number one, what Vashti told a friend coming at him and how he handles it, his high-pitched voice, all of that. What are your thoughts there as you listen to that, Steve?
You know, funny, Mike, recently I took a class with the DEA, and it was done by a very exceptional deception expert, Eyes for Lies. And in her presentation, she said, look for that high-pitched voice during an interrogation. It is a sign of deception. When, did you kill your wife? No. And did you shoot your wife? No. And that high-pitched voice is very indicative of someone being deceptive.
If he takes the stand, obviously he likes to talk if he's going to go 7 hours in an interrogation. How do you think he's going to be? Again, this guy's law enforcement, I'm sure trained to testify if needed.
Well, Mike, we know just by seeing the interview and the footage that we've seen him, he's an intelligent man. He's articulate. He is well-focused. And for the most part, he can remain calm under pressure. So I think he's going to make a good witness.
All right. We've heard from witnesses. We've heard from friends. Most friends say, when you talk about Vashti, that she was upbeat. She was looking forward, basically, to a new life after a divorce. Well, here's a friend, Joy Trotnick. Let's listen to that, Steve.
She said, do you think Brett would burn the house down with me in it? And I looked at her and I said, what? And she said, do you think Brett would burn the house down with me in it? And I was taken aback by that, and I said, not with the kids at home.
Again, that's from a friend. That information's out there, and that Vashti herself feared that. I mean, what does a jury do with that, Steve?
That's a very powerful statement, Mike. Is it something that he said to her in the past that made her believe that? Did she have a vision? Something based upon what he has done during the course of their lifetime, likely within the recent past, caused her to believe that.
Steve is an investigator. Obviously, there's a mountain that piles up on the prosecution side. But let's flip it for a second. Look at the other way, from a defense perspective, and on a defense evidence perspective. What's their best bet at reasonable doubt and a possible acquittal when you look at the evidence?
Well, that's exactly it. They're going to have to create that element of reasonable doubt. They're going to have to attack the credibility of the investigators. The worst thing that a police officer could do be sitting there in the courtroom when a defense attorney brings up something that you didn't do that you should have done. So I think it's going to go after the investigation and the investigators themselves.
Okay. How strong on an evidence front is the case for the prosecutors? I mean, we've reeled off a lot of stuff that seems pretty powerful and a pretty big mountain for this defense to climb.
It's a very good circumstantial case with some very good supporting forensic evidence with regard to his burns, the gas being on his pants, him burning the hard drives to his computer, him practicing the forgeries. So that's pretty compelling. Why, other than for the reasons that he's on trial, would he have been doing that?
Is his story plausible at all? That she's calling, saying, you better get the boys, they're going to get hurt, and she crawls in bed, shoots herself. This is after she set the place on fire.
No, I don't think that there's any woman out there that would have the belief that any mother would put her children in danger, making that phone call, wondering was he going to hear it and pick it up, or her kids were going to die. No, too powerful, too powerful.
Quite a roll of the dice. That's a great point there. She's hoping that he picks up the phone because, you know, the fire's already been set there. So, again, quite the mountain for the defense to climb. But they're in the midst of their case. Brett Seacat could be a part of it himself. He may testify. We'll keep you posted on that.